Hey everyone, welcome back. In this video, I'm going to explain GitHub Actions. And you know why this matters? Because most teams are still manually deploying code or managing fragile shell scripts that fail at 2 in the morning. Getting this wrong has real consequences, like broken production releases and massive downtime. Let us change that. Automation is not just about convenience, it is about reliability. Let us look at what we are going to cover. Specifically, we will cover the manual integration trap, define what actions are using a real-world analogy, and dive into the architecture of runners and workflows. Then, we will build a CI pipeline from scratch, look at production patterns, solve common errors, and provide a decision framework for your team. Watch all the way through to understand this properly. Before we get into the topic, a small request to you. I have already uploaded many technical videos on different technologies and tools. We share more knowledgeable content every day, so if you are interested in learning and want to improve your skills, make sure you have subscribed to our channel and joined our WhatsApp community. The join link is available in the description or scan the QR code shown on the screen. Let us get started. So why is manual deployment such a risk? It creates a bottleneck where one engineer becomes the single point of failure. If they are sick or away, nobody can ship a hotfix. Worse, manual steps are prone to human error. You forget one environment variable, or you run a migration in the wrong order, and suddenly your e-commerce site is down during a flash sale. That is the reality without automated pipelines. What is GitHub Actions really? It is an event-driven automation platform. Think of it as a factory floor. Your code is the raw material. Every time you push a commit, it is like a part arriving on the conveyor belt. GitHub Actions are the robot arms that trigger immediately. They test the part, assemble it into a package, and ship it to your servers. If anything is defective, the robot arm stops the line and alerts the manager. That is exactly how your CI/CD pipeline should function. Before we start, you need a few things. First, you must have a GitHub account and at least one repository. You also need Git installed locally. Verify this by running Git version in your terminal. For those on Windows, press the Windows key plus R, then type cmd to open your prompt. Mac and Linux users can just open their terminal. You also need to know basic YAML, as that is the language of our workflows, and you should know the specific commands to build or test your application manually. Take a moment to review each point shown on screen. How does this work internally? It all starts with an event, like a code push. GitHub's engine receives this and checks your YAML configuration. It then assigns a job to a runner, which is a clean virtual machine. The runner executes your steps and finally reports the result back to your repository dashboard. Everything is ephemeral and isolated for every single run. To start, we create a file in the .github/workflows directory. On line 2, we define the trigger, which is any push to the repository. On line 5, we specify the environment, which is the latest Ubuntu runner. Finally, on line 8, we define our actual test command. This is a simple but functional pipeline that runs every time you commit code. When you commit this file, GitHub immediately starts the workflow. You can see the output here. First, it pulls your code, then it executes the test suite. All test fast, and the job finishes in just over 2 seconds. Perfect. For production, you need more than just tests. Here, notice we add an environment block on line 4. This allows us to use environment protection rules. Most importantly, on lines 8 and 9, we inject a secret. You never hardcode credentials. You use the secret store, which ensures your sensitive keys are never exposed in your repository history. In the GitHub UI, you will see a green checkmark indicating a successful deployment. We also see the duration and verified environment status. This gives your team full visibility into what is running in production right now. What happens if you forget to add the secret in the GitHub settings? you get this error. The workflow stops immediately because it cannot authenticate with your cloud provider. This is a very common point of frustration for teams. To fix this, go to your repository settings under the Actions tab. Add the secret key with the exact same name you used in your workflow file. Once the secret exists, you can simply click the Rerun button in the Actions dashboard, and the pipeline will pick it up automatically. Think about this. A global logistics company was losing hours every day because their staging environment was flaky. They switched to GitHub Actions. By using matrix testing, they ran their tests across 3 different versions of their runtime simultaneously. This caught platform-specific bugs before they ever hit staging. The result was a massive reduction in failed deployments and a huge boost in developer velocity. When should you use this? If your code is on GitHub, it is the natural choice. It is perfect for testing, building, and deploying. But do not use it if your organization has strict compliance rules that prevent your code from touching a public cloud, or if you need to perform tasks that require specialized hardware like high-end GPUs or low-latency networking that standard runners cannot provide. Use these criteria to decide if this tool is right for your situation. So to recap, first, never leak credentials. Always use the built-in secret store. Second, treat your workflows as code by keeping them in your repository. Third, modularize your steps so you are not repeating yourself. Fourth, use caching for dependencies to keep your build times short. Finally, always monitor your logs. These are the habits of elite DevOps teams. I believe this video will definitely be a useful video. If you liked the video, please do like and hype the video. Also share it with your friends and groups. It may be useful to somebody else. If you have any doubts or any requests, please let me know in the comments. Make sure you have subscribed to stay updated for our regular videos. Join our WhatsApp community using the link in the description because we share more knowledgeable content every day. Thank you for watching. See you soon in the next video.